on for the past year is lead contamination in water, and lead can get through water.
Hello and welcome to the F&O Show on Bloomberg Quint Live, India's first digital live streaming business news service. I'm Darshan Mehta. Good morning, Agam.
Good morning, Darshan. I'm Agam Akil. Here are the headlines. Markets gain momentum. Nifty moves back above 10,950. Volatility advances. And traders take fresh short positions in DCB Bank after reports suggest that the SFIO wants DCB Bank's license cancelled over its dealings in the NSEL scam. The private bank, however, has denied any wrongdoing. Larsen & Toubro is in focus today after SEBI rejects the capital goods giant's proposed 9,000 crore share buyback. And Kotak Mahindra Bank will be reporting its December quarter results today.
Okay, let's take a look at what's happening as far as the markets are concerned at this point of time. After a slow start, we are slowly inching in close to the 11,000 mark on the futures at least. So we're just 5 points away for the Nifty futures to hit the 11,000 mark in trade. So there is definitely traction on the long side as far as the Nifty futures is concerned. Take a look at the Bank Nifty and let's see what traction it's seeing. Open interest build up of 4%, and there is positive traction that's seen on the Nifty Bank. But as of now, the Nifty is outperforming. 11,000 will be a big resistance level for the Nifty. In today's trade, you're seeing that the put writers are active from 10,800 right up to 11,000 levels. But if you take a look at where positions are being taken, 10,900 to lower levels is where put writers are active. But there is enough resistance at the 11,000 level. So whether that can be taken by force or we will see a retracement again from that level is for anyone's guess. So that's the traction we are seeing. Pretty strong at this point of time. Magam, on the stock specific side, what are you seeing? Again,
Darshan, I reckon DCB Bank will be right at the top of the contention, considering problems with respect to the SFIO. That is a serious fraud investigation office. But it's declining by around 2%. There certainly has been an increase, a considerable increase in open interest. And Apollo Hospitals continues to move from strength to strength. We've had Darshan talk about this earlier in the morning as well and address what's going on and what's working out for Apollo Hospitals. That's also seeing about 16% added in open interest. Larsen & Toubro, well, that is actually trading marginally in the green. It's actually exactly flat. We've seen very little change despite the fact that the SEBI has advised L&T against their buyback program. We do see a surge in OI there. NIT Technologies and Mindtree in the mid-cap space advancing with fresh longs coming through. In terms of stocks which are seeing unwinding in their open interest, we really have Ramco Cement and Kajaria Ceramics, but there has been very little out there. I'll be watching out for DCB Bank, Larsen & Toubro as well as we move into trade today, Darshan. Okay, so those are the stocks, some of the stocks that we will watch out for. And as we speak, at least on an intraday basis, the Nifty futures, have managed to hit the 11,000 mark in trade. 11,004 is something that they hit. It come off the highs of the day, but nevertheless the traction is strong in trade today. Some of the stocks that we will discuss in trade today, let's see which one these will be. We'll discuss the Nifty Pharma space. A lot of counters like Wockhardt, Sun Pharma, Biocon are buzzing in trade. We'll discuss the UPL. UBS note syndicate has downgraded. UBS has downgraded the counter, and they say that Manucosep is no longer a tailwind for the company given the competition it is facing in Latin America. What should happen? We'll analyze how Wipro's numbers were and what exactly happens there. DCB Bank is down in trade and L&T is also down in trade. Negative news coming in on the counter. But before we get the guest on the show, here's a reminder: if you have any queries regarding futures and option market, including the stocks that we spoke about, you can call us on 0224540 4141 or write to us on Twitter, Facebook with the AskBQ hashtag. Let's welcome our F&O experts for the day. Abhijit, Phatak of Definedge Solutions and Chandan Taparia of Motilal Oswal joins us on the show. Good morning to both of you. Chandan, I'll start with you. Good morning. What are you rating into trade? The Nifty futures at least hitting the 11,000 mark in trade. Will we see a big resistance coming there, or are we going to break past that and attain higher levels now?
Yes, good morning. The way market is finding support at lower zone and supports are shifting higher gradually from last couple of days, it indicates that there should be a consolidation breakout on the higher side. If I look at the price formation in last two trading sessions, the market is forming the multiple dozes or the long lower shadows on the daily scale, which indicates that only dips are being bought, while on the weekly it formed a bullish candle. So the entire setup suggests that dips are being bought, and that's why we are expecting the fresh leg of rally and fresh leg of breakout. Couple of days back, market is given a breakout from a symmetrical triangle formation, and the put writing, which was earlier at 10,500 and congestion shifted to 10,700 zone. So the entire data setup suggests that we are all set to head to higher level. However, the 11,000 call is commanding the maximum open interest, but I think small unwinding in that also may take it to low higher zone. So as of now, looking at the entire setup, we are expecting the fresh leg of rally. In Nifty, till it holds about 10,880 zone, we are expecting it to move towards 11,080 kind of levels.
Okay, Abhijit, good morning to you as well. While we have seen that strength come through this morning, we're also seeing a surge in the India Volatility Index. How are you reading these cues, and what are you expecting for in the near term?
Yeah, as long as 10,000, I mean, Nifty is bullish, definitely. Any dip should be used to buy. The stop loss on a wider term will be below 10,800, but of course, this is not valid today. It has already reached 11,000. And on a close above 11,000, I expect 11,200, maybe this expiry itself.
Okay, that's the traction that's coming in on the index as such. Abhijit, let's start with the stocks. Which are the stocks that you have for our viewers today?
Yeah, I have two longs. One is Tata Motors, which can be bought here or on any dip with a stop loss below 180. It can go towards 188 or maybe even 192, 195. And next stock is Castrol is looking quite good. It can be bought now with the stop loss below 164 for target of 175 and 178.
Any reason why you selected these two stocks? What's your rationale for selecting Tata Motors and Castrol? Is it basically technical trends that you're looking at, or anything interesting on the F&O side that has caught your eye?
No, these are purely based on the charts of the underlying, and not on any technical, not on any F&O data. It's mainly the underlying chart.
Okay, so chart reading is something that makes Abhijit bullish on Tata Motors and Castrol. You have any?
No, I think we can get Chandan as well, on his stocks. Chandan, what about you? What stocks are you betting on today's day of trade?
Yeah, first it is buy on UPNL. The stock has given a consolidation breakout and heading towards its new lifetime high territory. It seems that it's all set to head towards 2018 high of 1499.95, almost 1500 kind of zone. We have seen the built up of long position by around 5 to 6%. Even on the last trading also, the stock witnessed some dip, but again that was being bought, and that is happening from last couple of trading session. So the entire setup and the database suggests the fresh leg of rally, so recommending to buy with a stop loss of 1410 and expecting it to move towards 1500 kind of level. Second is buy on Reliance. Just couple of days back, the stock has given a breakout from a symmetrical triangle formation, and the 1200 call started to witness unwinding and the OI congestion shifting to 1240 strike. So the entire data setup suggests the stock should respect the support of 1185, 1190, while on the upside it can head towards 1140, 45 kind of zone. And one more trade that is from the pharma space, that is the Biocon. This is the only counter in the pharma space which is continuously holding the gains and making higher tops, higher bottom formation on the weekly scale. Today itself it has seen the open interest addition of 9%. So here we are expecting the fresh up move. One can buy with a stop loss of 655 for the upside target towards 695 levels.
Chandan, I do have a follow-up question on, the possibility of the fact that we will eventually soon have your weekly options on the Nifty being introduced as well. The question I have for you then in that case is there a possibility that we could actually see an expansion in option premiums then, and based on that, do you think that volatility, that is the VIX, could also rise and its range could move up higher?
Yeah, that's true. Because of the weekly underlying, some volatility could trigger. However, Nifty is a barometer or benchmark indices. But the participation and volume activity could continue into that segment as well. Because nowadays, after the Bank Nifty weekly contract, the major participation is coming in the weekly compared to the monthly expiries. And people are enjoying most of their strategy, and that is doable in the Bank Nifty weekly. So I think that kind of scenario is likely to be in the Nifty. But yes, this is the weekly expiry compared to Nifty, so comparative premium might be higher and decay will be much higher, so traders need to trade accordingly. And because of the sudden swing in the option activity or higher activity, the volatility may slightly inch higher. The India VIX, which is near to 16, may inch slightly higher, and the range of the VIX also may shift higher because the volatility or VIX of the Bank Nifty has gone to 24 to 28 zone. So similarly, the India VIX of the Nifty can slightly shift higher, and volatile swings could continue to be in the Indian market as well.
Okay, what about Abhijit? I think Reliance obviously deserves a mention. Chandan has recommended that counter. Just want your view also on Reliance. It's been single-handedly helping the Nifty move in much higher. Is there more potential for upside in Reliance Industries?
I'm not sure about fresh longs. I definitely had given a buy call around 1100, I think last week, and it has already gone up 110-15 points. And as per the options data in terms of OI, it is not yet promising. So I would wait for a dip maybe towards 1200 or see if 1180 is a support. So maybe buy on dip, but not. I would not buy here.
Okay.
Okay. Is there any other option strategy that can be employed on Reliance Industries, Chandan, based on your observations and your expectations about how you're seeing it?
See, in Reliance, just a couple of days back, we have seen a consolidation breakout from symmetrical triangle. That's why we suggested near to 1100, and now we are continuing with long position because of its momentum and because of its commitment to unwinding the call writing and shifting the higher zone. So now the call writing has shifted to 1240. So I think the buy on decline would be the better strategy. If it comes near to 1200 to 1195, then in that scenario one can trade with 1200 call, or can go with the bull call spread by buying 1200 call and selling 1240 call, with the view that the stock should find support to 1185, while on upside it can head towards 1250 kind of zone.
Okay, some of the stocks that we want to highlight. First of all, the pharma space is buzzing today in morning trade. Sun Pharma was doing well. As Chandan pointed out, Biocon is another counter which is doing well. Wockhardt managed to do well. So pharma as a space, the Nifty Pharma has been doing well in trade. What's the view ahead? Is there more traction here? Which are the counters our experts like? So Chandan, I'll start with you. You already spoke about Biocon in the pharma space. That's something that you like. Apart from Biocon, is there something that you like and has the potential to give good returns in the pharma space?
Yeah, if I look at the Nifty Pharma Index, witnessed profit booking in last 4 series, and in this series it has been consolidating in a range. It got stuck in the trading range of last series. So overall, the medium term trend is pressure, but on the short term, on the weekly scale, this sector is finding some support. However, in last 2 trading sessions, it fell down sharply because of the decline in the Sun Pharma, which is commanding the highest weightage in this sector. And again, it is finding hurdle near to its 50-day exponential moving average, and this moving average is doing well for this sector. So I think the selective stock space action is likely to be there in the entire pharma space. Counter like Biocon stocks, apart from that, like Lupin or Oro Pharma could attract buying interest. So in Biocon already we have seen the built up of long position, and stock is making higher tops, higher bottom. So we are looking for an up move towards 695. Sun Pharma has seen the built up of short position by around 23-24% on the last trading session. So today some supporters buying is being witnessed, but that is only for the bounce back to 420 zone. In other pharma, Divis Lab is likely to consolidate. Lupin may see some range bound movement. Oro Pharma may attract some buying interest. So selective, the range bound bias is clearly visible with selective outperformance in this sector.
Abhijit, to talk about Sun Pharma specifically, would you take the opportunity today's pullback to go and initiate fresh short positions in Sun Pharma?
Not at these levels, maybe on rise, maybe towards 420, and it's 435 is going to be a very big resistance. So I would wait for it to go towards 420 or maybe higher, and with the stop loss above 435, yes, it is a short.
Okay, Abhijit, let's talk about the pharma space also. Anything that you like in this space? We spoke about Sun Pharma with you. Anything else that looks interesting?
I'm looking at 2 stocks. One is Biocon. If it closes above 670, it can go towards 700. And another stock which is at support right now, it is not yet showing any strength, but I believe it can rise. Cadila, which has a very good support in 340, 343 futures. If that can, if it takes support here, I'm expecting it to go towards 360, 365.
Okay, well, the other stock that we wanted to address was Wipro. Of course, today it's showing weakness, and one may be easily attributed to, well, I would say the relatively lower forecast that it has made for the 4th quarter. But we also have to remember that Wipro ran up as much as 10% in the previous week. So this is also perhaps can be perceived as a bout of profit taking after its earnings have come through. It is currently at 337 when it comes to its futures. There is some amount of increase in OI too. And well, with respect to its earnings, they've been largely in line, save for their operating margins, which have been above expectations. And on the other hand, a little bit of disappointment with respect to its fourth quarter forecast. But that's as far as fundamentals are concerned. What are our technicals telling us? That's the question we want to ask. Chandan, how are you reading technicals and perhaps the cues on derivatives on Wipro now that the fundamental event is out? What's your cueing here?
See, if I talk about the Wipro, we have seen buying interest in selective IT counter or Nifty IT Index also given a breakout from a symmetrical formation on the daily scale. We have seen buying interest in TCS, Infosys, and if I talk about the Wipro, the stock has seen the open interest addition of around 14% in last 3-4 trading session and already recovered well from the lower zone. So I think some consolidative move is required. Today's stock is slightly dull when other IT stocks are doing well because already it has seen the rally. So for me, it's buy on decline. I'll wait for a support dips near to 330, and in that scenario, I can suggest to go long with a stop loss of 322 for an upside target towards 345 levels.
Abhijit, what's your view on Wipro? And there's also a viewer query, if you can answer that. Maddies has a Wipro 350 call at 5 rupees 35 paise. What should he do? If he can pull up this 350 call also of Wipro, what the price is currently. So Abhijit, it's down by almost close to 70-80 paise from where he bought. But Abhijit, what's your view on Wipro? And can you answer Maddy's query?
I would wait on Wipro. I would wait for it to take a support near 330, 332 because that is a good support and not buy over here. And as is normal, very common with stocks, after results they show a decline, except few like Reliance. And as far as Wipro is concerned, 340, 345 is a very strong resistance. In fact, it has been a resistance for the last 15 years. So any close above 350 only is a breakout in Wipro, and below that, of course, right now over the last few months it is in a range of 300 to 340, 345. But for the timing, 330 is a support. And as regards its 350 call, he can use today's low below 2 as the stop loss, and he can exit if it comes near 4 or 5, which is his cost.
Okay, so well, that's as far as your view on that particular aspect is concerned. Well, in terms of other stocks that we also wanted to address, let's pull up something like we addressed Sun Pharma too. I'm just getting it and trying to get access to the sort of stocks that we were.
Yeah, so basically, let's talk about UPL. UPL is another counter. Now, the reason we have selected this is the downgrade that's come in from UBS. And the reason that they have said is that Mancozeb, which is one of the key tailwind, one of the key products which was giving them a lot of tailwind, is now facing significant amount of competition in Latin America. So it's a negative for UPL, but what are the F&O cues indicating? That's something we'll ask our guest. So Chandan, UPL, what should one do? Are you seeing any kind of negative cues that are coming in, or is it a long for you?
See, you're talking about UPL or UBL?
UPL, United Phosphorus.
Okay. So we are positive on the UBL, but UPL is likely to be range bound. However, the overall trend is positive, but on a daily scale, the stock has got stuck in a range. So here, as of now, I don't see any major trigger for the buying interest. If I look at the price movement on downside, it witnesses buying interest near to 747, while on the upside, it fails to surpass 785, 790 zone. So for me, it has to surpass 785, then only I can understand the fresh leg of rally. While on the downside, below 745, I can understand the decline. So as of now, it got stuck in this range, so not getting any sense. Even on the weekly scale, from last 3 weeks, it has been forming the narrow price range. So that also indicates that volatility has converged and stock requires a decisive range breakout. Then only I can understand the price setup in the counter.
Okay, well, with that, we move on and address what's going on at DCB Bank right now. There is some amount of weakness, but not as much as we'd expect. The reason is that, well, the SFIO has suggested that DCB Bank's banking license be cancelled because of its involvement in the NSEL scam. But the bank has, officially told, us that, they put out a statement suggesting that they deny any wrongdoing happening in this particular aspect. All said and done, this particular stock is down by as much as 2% right now at 182, and there has been a surge in open interest. If I take a look at its chart too, from December till January, it's been on a constant up move. In fact, from levels of around 150, it actually moved to around 190. And it is looking at a considerable weakness today. It is still well above all its crucial DMAs, and it's only today that it went below the mark of 70 when it comes to its 14-day relative strength index. So those are just some fundamental and technical indicators on the stock and how it's moved today. Abhijit, your view on DCB Bank, how would you trade this counter right now, or would you avoid trade completely?
Yeah, for a stock which is come in such a big negative news, it's better to avoid it. In case someone is already holding it in delivery, one can hold it with a stop loss below 160, 165. It has a good support near 175 and 166 on futures, and that is what I'll be looking at. Even on the higher side, I don't expect it to go, shoot up because there's a big resistance near 190 and 195. So it might remain range bound between 165 and 195.
Okay, one more stock we want to talk about is Larsen & Toubro. Obviously, the observations from SEBI coming in, and in terms of the buyback, which actually probably won't go through at this point of time. Surprisingly, L&T has actually moved into the green at this point of time. What's the view on L&T? We'll ask our guest. Abhijit, you can go first. L&T has moved into the green now. Is the traction on the positive side?
Yes, I think it was weak over the last couple of weeks because of this news which was expected, and now that the news is out of the way, it is like a, sell on rumor and buy on news, and it gapped down exactly at the support near 1270, 1280. So I expect it to go towards 1340, 1350, and on a close up of 1360, maybe even 1400.
That's Larsen & Toubro, and that's Abhijit's view. Chandan, let me take up your view as well. How are you seeing trade here, and what would you do with Larsen & Toubro?
Yes, it seems that L&T has taken a pause from its negative price pattern of last 3-4 weeks. It taken support at very right level of 1270, and now some buying interest started to see, and today it has seen the open interest addition of around 12-30% at the time of recovery, which indicates that support based longs are being built in the counter. However, on the option front, the 1340 call is quite active, and that is commanding the open interest activity. So because of that, as of now, I am expecting it to move towards 1340, 45 kind of level. And those who are looking to play the bounce back move can go with 1320 call, that is quite active for the day. 1320 call, one can buy near to 27-28 rupees for target of 40-42 rupees.
Okay, well, that's your Larsen & Toubro. Want to address yet another stock, perhaps on the back of earnings. Well, surprise, surprise, HDFC Bank has posted another quarter in which you've seen profits rise 20% and your revenues rising 21%. That perhaps is largely in line with everyone's expectations, considering it's been fairly standard for HDFC Bank to report these kind of earnings. Now, with respect to its stock price, it's currently at around 2150. Its open interest has surged 4%. We also have a query on YouTube from Vikram Fafadia, and he actually wants a view on the 2200 call. This is January speaking. We're still about 50 points away from this particular call going in the money. But let me take this up with Chandan. Chandan, how are you viewing trade on this particular counter first? And then what would your advice be with respect to this particular option? That's the 2200 call option.
Yeah, can you repeat the question again, please?
Your HDFC Bank, we want a view on the stock.
Yeah, so the stock is consolidating from last couple of trading session. On weekly scale, it is forming the pole and flag formation, and we are waiting for a breakout. And what I believe, if Nifty has to conquer psychological 11,000 mark, then HDFC Bank or HDFC Limited has to take now lead, because the other counterpart, other follow stocks like Reliance, TCS, Infosys, L&T already started to witness the buying interest. So I think here the way the stock is finding support at the lower zone, put writing is intact. The stock is given a small consolidation breakout on the hourly frame, and all set to move on higher side, one can continue to be with long position. As of now, I feel the stock should find support at 2120, while on upside it can attempt to us 2180 to 2200 zone on positional basis. So I think one can continue to be with long position for a fresh breakout later in the counter.
Okay, Abhijit, anything interesting that you're spotting apart from the counters that you had already recommended?
One stock which is showing quite a bit of strength is TCS. I don't know, I mean, it had a good support from where it is bouncing, and 1920 was a support resistance on Nifty on the futures, and that has crossed, and if this continues, it can go towards 1950, 1960 this week.
Okay. Chandan, what about you? Anything interesting that's standing out for you right now?
Yeah, I'll continue to remain bullish on IT counter as Abhijit just discussed. This is the segment which already given the breakout on the chart because what I noticed over the weekend that this sector has given a breakout from a symmetrical price pattern, and I have also observed the buying interest in most of these activity. This sector is continuously making a high top, high bottom on daily and weekly scale. So positively on most of these stocks, including TCS, where we are looking for move towards 1960 kind of zone. Infosys other counter which is given a pole and flag pattern on a small time frame. Here it can head towards 755 zone. Tech Mahindra, Mindtree are the other counter where one can see the buying interest.
Guys, on that note, I'm going to take a moment to thank both our experts, Abhijit and Chandan, for joining us and taking us through their views and solving some of our viewer queries. For more updates on the F&O space, you can also check our website, bloombergquint.com, where we have plenty of information as far as futures and options go. And on that note, it's a wrap in this edition of the F&O Show. But for more news and updates, stay tuned to Bloomberg Quint, and we will keep bringing you more.